If you're a longtime viewer of the channel, you would know that the Lamborghini Aventador is my all-time favorite car, and that is for a very good reason. Well, actually, it's for a ton of reasons, but to name a few, the way it looks, first of all, it is a gorgeous car because of the way every single body line meets up to one another, and it might seem overstyled, but when you break it down, it's really not. Then you go over to its naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 engine, the best-sounding engine that has ever been made, in my opinion. Third of all, the all-wheel drive system that accelerates you forward like crazy with that naturally aspirated power plant to give you instantaneous power. And fourth of all, the gearbox. It gives so much more emotion and soul to the car every single time you shift, which just makes the car more dramatic, which is everything a Lamborghini should be. Now, many people, and I mean many people, have complained about the single clutch gearbox in the Lamborghini Aventador, and as we're approaching to the new one, the Revuelto or Tormenta, we might see a dual clutch gearbox in that car. So if you want to go check out this video where I reveal the entire design of the car, and I have more videos of that car coming up, please go check it out, link in the description down below. But I wanted to ask the question, what if the Lamborghini Aventador had a dual clutch gearbox? So if you're new to my channel, just please subscribe down below to help me achieve my dream of becoming a successful YouTuber. I make all types of content on this channel, from everything from car reviews, vlogs, to my personal opinions, to redesigning cars to short videos, and even informative videos. So basically every single thing a car person will want in a YouTube channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button down below again, and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified every single time I make a new video. Now, you just maybe might be thinking to yourself,
I don't even know if that's a real term,
but you might be thinking to yourself, it's 2011. Audi still owns Lamborghini at this time, which they still do today. And at this point in time, every single car manufacturer was starting to hop on the trend of the dual clutch renaissance, putting dual clutches into every single one of their cars to make the shift smoother, faster, and well, it just bumped up performance by a lot, because it was so much faster than the single clutches at the time. And Audi is always trying to push for the technologies. Well, back then at least. Now they're just following along the trends. But at this time, Audi was making the dual clutches very, very well. And at this time, Audi also owned Lamborghini, as I said. So why didn't they just put one of their fast-shifting dual clutch gearboxes into one of their flagships fast supercar things? The single clutch gearbox in the Lamborghini Aventador LP700-4, the Aventador S facelift in 2017, the SV in 2016, the Aventador SVJ in 2018, the Ultimate in 2021.
Shall I go on?
I think I don't need to go on at this point, but all of these models that I have listed so far have had the single clutch gearbox that was found in the base Aventador from 2011, except modified a little bit. Now, I have not had a single problem with the Aventador's gearbox from my past experiences. It felt very, very smooth, and the shifts were very, very smooth and buttery. It wasn't anything like what people claim for it to be, where it goes
every single time you shift.
It doesn't do that. Well, either that, it could have just been the specific Aventador that I rode in. Now, you might be thinking the one that I rode in was probably modified. No, it was not. It was completely stock except for the exhaust and the carbon fiber hood that was put onto the car. I absolutely love this single clutch gearbox because it literally just makes the car so much more emotional than every other supercar. Now, they didn't do a manual gearbox for the Aventador, so the best thing they could possibly do with the gearbox, the flappy paddles that they have, which was sort of in the modern era, if you want to say that, for 2011, but the best they could probably do with the flappy paddle gearbox is not to have it shift fast and everything and have the smooth gear changes to be faster. It was to jerk you every single time you shifted. And while it jerked you back every single time, that did mean for slower gear changes and a slower acceleration speed, but it meant you had so much more drama. And that is what Lamborghini is all about. Now, let's talk about what if it didn't have all that drama, which would mean a dual clutch gearbox. So obviously the single clutch gearbox is known for the Aventador, so that single clutch gearbox sits literally in between the driver and the passenger seat. So you see that giant center console that runs through the entire front or the middle of the car, straight down the middle. That is exactly where the transmission or the gearbox sits in the Lamborghini Aventador. Now, that center console area was designed specifically to hold that gearbox, and now it is not the biggest area ever, and the entire interior space of an Aventador is not very big. The dashboard is bigger than the entire interior of the car, if you have ever sat in an Aventador or been in one for a long period of time. And there isn't much legroom to even spread out your legs, and that is because of that giant center console that holds the transmission of the Aventador. Now, if that was not a single clutch gearbox, which is obviously smaller than a dual clutch gearbox, it would have to be bigger in size, because that's just
basic science.
Which means you would have to redesign the entire middle of the car, which would mean that you would not be able to even sit inside of the car. So the gas pedal and the steering wheel that you see in the Aventador it would be moved all the way to the side of the car, which would not be drivable at all, which means the entire car would have to be redesigned to be wider. The Aventador is already extremely wide, so you can't make that thing any wider, which is why it had to have a single clutch gearbox. Now, people were expecting a dual clutch transmission in the S facelift, the Aventador S facelift in 2017, but it didn't happen because then a Lamborghini would have to redesign the entire car and it wouldn't look as good as it does. The SVJ didn't have it either, neither did the SV, the hardcore variants, and neither does the Ultimate, the last ever Aventador built. That is if you don't count the new Invincible and Authentica, the Scion Roadster, the Scion Coupe FKP37, the Countach LPI. But what I'm trying to say is that the Aventador
Would look pretty retarded if it did have a dual clutch transmission.
yes, it would be faster. Yes, it would have to be a lot wider, but it would not be proportionally right. Just tell me your thoughts in the comments down below if you do like the single clutch gearbox in an Aventador, and if you have ever rode in one, and tell me your experiences about that if you have rode in one. So that is basically it for today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, please give it a like and subscribe down below if you haven't already, because it is my dream to become a successful YouTuber. I make all types of content on this channel, from everything from car reviews, vlogs, to my personal opinions, to redesign cars to short videos, and even informative videos. Just basically every single thing a car person would want in a YouTube channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button down below again, and turn on post notifications so you can be notified every single time I make a new video. But again, watch my video about the Lamborghini Revuelto, and I have a ton more Aventador videos coming because it is my favorite car of all time again. So again, watch this video about the Revuelto or the Tormenta, whatever it's going to be called, because I have more videos of the Aventador's replacement coming up. So I do hope to see you in a future video, and bye for now.
Please subscribe. Lol, I have big dreams on YouTube.
What?